From Clapp Recital Hall on the University of Iowa campus in Iowa City, Iowa. The Iowa Public Broadcasting Network presents the University of Iowa Scottish Highlanders. To recent generations at the University of Iowa, the existence of the Scottish Highlanders has been a fact of life. But this was not always the case. We would like to take a moment to show you a historical perspective of the University of Iowa Scottish Highlanders.
The Scottish Highlanders were formed at the University of Iowa in 1936. Colonel George F.N. Daly, the ROTC Commandant, had visited Edinburgh, Scotland, and dreamed of starting his own pipe and drum band. His dream became reality when 7 men were chosen from the University Drum and Bugle Corps to start the pipe band. One of these men was sent to Canada to learn the rudiments of Scottish piping and drumming. In the beginning, the band was all male with female dancers. By 1943, the war had depleted male enrollment, and females were asked to join. The response was overwhelming, and soon after, the Highlanders became the world's largest and only all-female pipe and drum band. It remained all-female until 1972, when men were again recruited. Today, there are 51 members, 9 male and 42 female. These drumheads are covered with signatures of many of America's most distinguished people who were entertained by this unique band. Bruce Liberati, a distinguished piper and drummer who won his first professional competition when he was only 14, became director of the Highlanders in August 1978.
Aside from the administrative duties of running the Highlanders, I also instruct all the pipers and the drummers. We have an excellent new dance instructor from California, Miss Ellen Thompson, who instructs and choreographs all the dances. Almost all the students that enter the Highlanders as freshmen know nothing about the traditions of piping, drumming, or dancing. During the 3-day band camp, which immediately precedes the fall semester, new people are instructed in piping, drumming, and dancing, and a couple weeks later, we do our first show in Kinnick Stadium. This year, the Highlanders have approximately 50 members, about 80% of which are new people. A lot of people think the Highlanders go into hibernation after football season's over, but in fact we do a great deal of indoor concert performances in Iowa City and throughout the state and Midwest. The Highlanders' 1980 concert tour will include performances in London, England, Copenhagen, Denmark, France, and several concerts in Scotland. The band will also be competing against bands from Scotland at several competitions in Scotland and England. Last year, the Highlanders recorded their first stereo album entitled Pipes of Old Gold, and we're planning to release another album immediately before our European tour. Before the Highlanders leave for the 1980 tour, we'll be giving a concert at the White House on May 31st.
Jean Costa, a former Highlander, is now the secretary for the band. She was on the first European tour in 1952.
Being a member of Highlanders when I was in school here at the University of Iowa, I think was probably one of the most cherished memories I have. It is an organization that doesn't seem to be too many like in the United States, and it has afforded me a great many travel opportunities. I think the biggest, most eventful travel was my 1952 trip to Europe, and being the first is always kind of exciting. It has its drawbacks too, in that it probably maybe wasn't the best organized, but we didn't know the difference. We had a good time. We got to meet people in Scotland, stay in their homes, and really, I think we developed some very fond friendships because of this, and I think this probably is what these trips are all about, is meeting other people in other countries and getting to know them and know that they're just like you are.
This film recalls a highlight of that tour, a visit to Scotland.
As we approached Aberdeen, we were really uncertain. Did the Aberdonians still think of us as show-off invaders? And why were all these people standing out here by the road? Had they really stood here in the rain just to see us drive into the city? Look at that crowd in Duffy Park. Had they honestly come out to welcome us, or just to laugh at the visiting foreigners? It was rather a silent crowd, but they seemed friendly enough. Then a Scottish ladies' pipe band struck up a tune on the pipes, and we followed them into the park. The crowd closed in behind us. Some Aberdeen ladies presented us with sprigs of heather and welcomed us warmly, and we felt we were among friends. From then on, it was wonderful.
That evening came the big show. Their Scottish host admitted that they, too, had been a little nervous, not really knowing whether the Highlanders could give a good performance or were merely products of American exaggeration. But when the performance got underway with those snappy Highlanders marching smartly down the field, it was obvious to everyone that the evening would be a great success. 23,000 Aberdonians had paid up to £1 apiece, nearly $3, to see them, with the proceeds going entirely to charity. Well, they say the Scots are quiet and reserved, dour and unsentimental. But they took the Iowa girls to their very hearts that summer evening. They were thrilled by the precision of their marching and the fine group spirit which the American girls displayed. When the program ended, they spontaneously began singing, "Will Ye No Come Back Again?" Scotland's highest compliment, as it is when we ask, "Won't you please come back and visit us again?"
Each piece of the Scottish Highlanders uniform has a purpose and a history. In Scotland, the significance of the uniform is understood, but here in the Midwest, an explanation is needed.
Hi, my name is Sue Sutton, and I'm the drum major of the University of Iowa Scottish Highlanders. Beside me here is Jenny Stewart, the pipe major of the Scottish Highlanders. We're here to tell you a few things about some of the parts of the uniforms that we wear as members of the band.
Our band wears traditional military Scottish uniforms, and I'll start with telling you about our kilts. Our kilts are authentic tartans. Mine is Royal Stewart, and Sue's is Hunting Stewart. Each clan or district in Scotland had their own tartan. The kilt is a piece of material. It's about 6 to 8 yards wide, depending on the size, and it's heavily pleated in the back. They're made out of wool, and the pleats help add to the warmth, and it's just wrapped around your body. It opens on the side. Originally, kilts were made out of one flat piece of material, and they were pleated by hand, and then they'd wrap them around their body and put a belt on, and they'd use the extra material up over their shoulder as a plaid. And this is my plaid, and these are two separate pieces now. I wear a half belted plaid, and Sue wears a full plaid, which comes down to the bottom of her kilt.
Over the kilt, we wear what is called a sporran. The sporrans were originally designed by the Scotsmen to serve as pocketbooks or purses in which they kept much of their money and valuables. The sporran is made out of some type of natural animal hair, in this case it being horsehair. Also on our kilts, both of us you will notice, are wearing what we call kilt pins. The different clans in Scotland wear different types of kilt pins, the design depending upon their clan or family name and particular style. Inside each of our hose tops, which incidentally are stocking-like over the foot and leg apparel, which match the uniform or the kilt. In these hose tops, we each have what is called a skein dhu, which essentially is a knife used by the Scotsman for various cutting purposes. As you will also notice, both Jenny and I are wearing medals for which we have gained through participating on the band's governing board or in individual competition. Jenny earning her award serving as a piper, and I as a dancer. We also both wear a brooch over our plaid, holding it in place. The design on this also depends upon the family or clan particular design picked by the family.
After 36 years and 6 European tours, the University of Iowa Scottish Highlanders are still going strong, entertaining people from coast to coast and preparing to embark on their 7th European tour as goodwill ambassadors of Iowa and the United States.
That fought and died for your wee bit hill and glen, and stood against him. Proud Edward's army and sent him homeward, taking again. Those hills are bare now, and autumn leaves lie thick and still. For land that is lost now, which though so dearly held, that stood against him. Proud Edward's army and sent him homeward, taking again. Those days are past now, and in the past they must remain. But we can still rise now and be the nation again that stood again.